Hello, class. My name is Katrina Mulder, and today we will be going over the social construction of deviance. Let's start with an example. Two teenagers are driving the same speed limit over the designated speed limit at night, but one is white and known for his wealthy parents and outstanding sports performances, and the other is a young black man who stays out of trouble while getting good grades. Under the law, you'd expect these two kids to receive the same treatment, whether it be a speeding ticket or a warning. This idea is unfortunately wrong, and discrimination based on race has caused many injustices and continue to be present throughout our society. The creation of these injustices and discriminations can be seen through how deviance is socially constructed. Attitudes, behaviors, and conditions aren't inherently deviant, but rather reshaped into deviance by society and often people of power to confirm what it is to be considered deviant. It is parallel in a way from last section's positivistic perspective, where we try to explain why people commit deviant acts instead of with constructionism. We explain how deviance is defined, who creates and enforces these rules, how it's unequally applied to different groups of society. Through conflict theorists' perspective, deviance isn't just about behavior, but rather other definitions constructed by society shaping things into deviance. People of color are constantly targeted throughout all sorts of crimes, an example being traffic stops. Many studies show that specifically African Americans are stopped, searched, beaten, or arrested at much higher rates than white people, despite the fact they commit traffic violations at lower rates. A study conducted in 2011 to 2017 by Stanford University shows how in 100 million traffic stops, black drivers were 20% more likely to be pulled over than white people relative to their population and searched more than white people. People of color are constantly targeted by officials and society itself just because of stigmas and stereotypes about the color of their skin. There are many social inequalities beyond just the law that have been integrated into our society, well known as racism. Let's compare this interaction with white people and how they get treated during traffic stops. When white people are stopped, they are more likely to receive a warning and not encounter the use of force or getting their vehicle searched. Yet, the evidence that was provided by the Stanford University shows that white drivers were more likely to have contraband in their vehicles. This can also occur with more serious offenses like driving under the influence compared to less serious traffic violations committed by a person of color. Research shows that sentencing of these crimes also show to be lighter. According to United States Sentencing Commissioning, black men receive 13.4 and Hispanic men receive 11.2% longer sentencing than white men. For women, Hispanics receive 27.8% and other women of color an estimated 17.8% longer sentencing than white women. This shows how deviance is constructed through society. The same or even worse behavior is treated differently by even our officials based off of race and gender. Why is this a problem? There are many consequences of this inequality. This allows for stronger stereotypes, fear, and mistrust that is contributed by police. Inconsistencies enforced by officials allow for a challenge of validity to our enforcement and discourage community trust. Labeling categories of people as deviant when there may be no deviance present is damaging to society and individuality. This can impact people's relationships and even isolate them from society and opportunities. It allows for the opportunity of the self-fulfilling prophecy, which is when people fall into stereotypes, they're labeled because it's what society expects of them, validating stigmas by making them true. Now, let's go over how this connects to conflict theory. Conflict theorists argue that crime and deviance are socially constructed by those in power. Since racism is deeply integrated into our society, this allowed for the social construct of criminal definitions targeting people of color. Anyone who was not white were seen as lesser, and many people unfortunately still hold this ideal to this day. The main focus of conflict theory is the process of criminalization, which holds true to this example. One key idea I want you guys to know is the word hegemony or dominance. According to Deviant Behaviors by Erich Good, groups struggle to have their own definitions written into law. With hegemony, groups attempt to legitimize their definitions while writing out those who disagree and are vying for other definitions of deviance and crime. A quote from this passage brings this idea together. The conflict theorists see a continual battle or contest between groups among competing groups and categories in contemporary society, with the most powerful strata usually winning out. This can explain how certain groups have shaped society to discriminate against race and how it's further executed by government officials, allowing for this idea to monger and grow. The powerful decide who commits crimes and why they do it by shaping laws into their ideals. The biggest takeaway I want you guys to understand is how deviance and criminality is constructed through society. Deviant, Deviance isn't always about behavior, but can rather be influenced by people in power and certain perceptions through society. It is highly likely that you will all experience these privileges or face inequalities present through our society, especially in regards to traffic violations, as you guys are beginning or have been driving for a while. Two people can be treated completely different for doing the same act, whether it be with the law or regular daily interactions with others. Labeling isn't just harmful to a single person or group, but contributes to many inequalities within our society. I encourage you to all question labels or stigmas society throws your ways to better challenge this social construction of deviance for the better. It's like the quote we've all grown up hearing. Don't judge a book by its cover, because it's in the real world. It makes or breaks how someone is treated. Thank you for your time. I hope you all have a better understanding of the social construction of deviance and have a great rest of your day.